Alright, everybody, welcome back to the Media Team Podcast, or MTP for short. I am Gravestone CT, and we're going to get into the last podcast for the season. Right, everybody introduce yourselves.
Alright, I'm Squeak. I'm an Arc Sergeant.
I'm Dodger, and I'm a clone trooper veteran.
I'm Izzy. I am a ARC trooper and a corporal in Geetsly's 41st.
I'm Jester. I'm a staff sergeant within the Geetsly's 41st.
Alright.
I forgot to say I'm also a staff sergeant as well in Phoenix.
Alright. We have quite a number of topics for today, so let's start off with our first one. Which clone battalions would you say have the best celebrations?
Honestly, I gotta say the 104th, mainly just because they're a military-run kind of group, and their markings.
Honestly, I would probably say the 501st would have the best celebrations because they would have, because of the way that Anakin runs that thing.
I think I'd have to agree with that.
Very much so. Maybe the 212th is a close second.
Yeah.
Just because Anakin's often with them.
It would be crazy. I would say the 327th, purely because how long they've been stuck on Felucia.
Oh, that's a good point. They've had a couple of bonfires just for the fun of it, because they're so bored. In all fairness, how do you think the 41st would celebrate, since we've never done it before?
I wouldn't even know how. Like, we all hop in a VC and turn our cameras on and light fireworks.
I've got two responses, one for SF and one for CTs. The SF one I legally can't share, but CTs, they'll probably go apeshit and start another war.
That is fair.
Somebody starting one anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go on to number 2. The High Republic, so pre-Clone Wars. This would be back during the Sith Wars, many, many years before clones existed, versus the New
Republic.
That would be Old Republic, a very long time ago. And then the New Republic is the other option. Which one would you say had the best celebrations and the fireworks specifically? Because we saw the New Republic's celebrations at the end, after the destruction of the second Death Star and the death of the Emperor.
That's right, we did.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably have to go New Republic, mainly just because the one scene of Coruscant, they showed the Jedi Temple, and we didn't really get to see that much after the fall of Order 66.
Yeah, that's true.
So I gotta go with New Republic.
Yeah.
Just a good piece of history to see, I guess.
Anyone else?
I would have to agree with the New Republic, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jester, Izzy?
I don't really have an opinion on this.
Same. I can't really think of much.
I personally have to say the New Republic because my studies of the High Republic showed that they were so busy going to war they didn't have time to celebrate.
And I would probably pick the High Republic because of war. Celebrating is the war.
I guess that's fair.
Then they probably just celebrate staying alive another day.
Yeah, that would make sense. Alright, we have room for any fantasy battles you want. Only one has to be a Star Wars faction, and the other can be whatever you want. So if you want to say the Separatist Alliance, the CIS droids, against Halo is one that we've done in the past. Ideas are welcome.
For me, I'll take Star Wars theme. I'd have to say the Clone Army versus the United States Marine Corps.
Any specific battalions, corps, or groups of clones, or the entire clone army?
The entire Clone Army versus the 1st and 2nd Marines, because they're the ones who have I would say the most historical background, being they were the ones who fought in the battles of Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa.
See,
So
it feels a bit one-sided to the clones because every single clone battalion, that's what,
About
many
3
millions?
million clones.
I think the total tally was between 8 and 10 million clones by the end of the war.
It could have been, yeah, because it was 2 million at the start of the war.
Yeah, 2 million within the first month of the war, and then the
Yeah.
war went on for what, 3-4 years?
About 4
Yeah.
years.
No, four. I thought it was like 4-5.
No, it's 3-4 because there's been documented years.
Yeah.
And also, the clone's armor is only built to withstand blasters. I doubt they would be able to take
Slug
actual
throwers.
bullets. Yeah, like bullets like the M4s, rifles, the LMGs they have on top of the Humvees. So I think
The
the
Marines
Marines
is
would
like
probably
what?
win.
No more than
Yeah.
400,000? Not even that? Especially if you
Marines
look at
today,
one
they've met
battalion.
their recruitment standards, so there's a lot of Marines.
Yeah.
Like off the top of my head, I think there's more than 10,000 of them.
Yeah, 10,000 versus 10 million.
Yeah, it's
I think
kind of
Drones would win that quite easily.
that's 1,000 times difference, and I don't care what the Marine Corps' armor is not going to take a blaster bolt.
No.
Okay, but I feel like, their guns are single fire. Meanwhile, the only rapid fire they have is their machine gun. But the Marines, they can switch between single fire and automatic.
Well, actually,
No.
the DC-15S carbine was full auto if you wanted it to be. And then the
Yeah.
DC-15A, the options were long-range fire that was slower, or just massive rapid blasts for a much shorter
Yeah.
range.
You've also got
Not to
consider
mention the D. Oh, sorry, is.
You also got to consider clone armies being trained since birth.
Hmm
They have. Whilst
And,
Marines
we
is
could.
past
yeah.
past the age of 18?
Oh,
Yeah,
they
18 when
they're-
you can sign in.
But the Marines are.
Officially.
The clones are trained to kill battle droids, not other people. So.
I don't know.
I mean,
Did you not
They still came
did you not
across
see
organic
Order
armies.
66?
Yeah, I
mean-
don't. I think they're definitely capable of killing people and are very good at it.
Depends on the
There was the
battalion.
Battle of Umbar. You remember that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Mm.
Torch, you have any
Central Iowa
insights?
is very good at killing organics. You know, like they went to Umbar and they started
Did
killing.
someone say something?
Another thing, though, since we had talked a little bit about weaponry, another thing is when it comes to like the DC-15, as in like the big long blaster rifle, it had a high power setting that could blow golf ball sized holes straight through concrete up to I think it's like 5 kilometers away.
Well, it's
It
two
ain't
it's 2.5
ammo like nothing, but that would punch through a lot of light armor. Easy.
2.5 kilometers away if you want to punch through solid concrete about a foot thick. If you want 5 kilometers, if you're only wanting a couple inches thick concrete, it does wear out eventually.
Yeah.
Oh wait, now that I think about it, clones they also had ammo packs. They didn't have like mags, so technically the clones also had unlimited ammo. Now that I
No.
think-
No, they're
500 shots
Well,
per
they're
pack.
energy clips.
Yeah, energy.
yeah, they do have to replace them just
Yeah,
nowhere
so-
near as
They lack
frequently as the
armor.
U.S. Marines.
But they're more likely to overheat before they have to reload.
True.
Yeah.
That's been proven on multiple occasions, actually.
Oh yeah. What about like if we're talking about armor, like in ATTE versus an Abram?
The Abrams going down as soon as the ATTE gets a lock.
Yeah. As soon as
Mass driver
gets
cannon
it's gone.
that mass driver cannon can pierce an AT-AT if you aim in the right spot.
From the underbelly, yeah.
And then,
Abrams today, they're like Tiger tanks during World War II, can only be killed from behind or the underbelly.
AT-AT is much tougher because they've got built-in shielding on top of their armor. And Abrams is getting destroyed immediately. Don't care what angle you're looking from. Also, the Marine
It may
Corps.
be a fact, however, you have to also consider the Abrams cannon. It can technically pierce through the armor if a well-trained shot is put into it.
And Abrams, they have tracks, so they're in Star Wars, they're kind of like speeders because they can move, but ATTEs have legs. So an ATTE to move is slower, but an Abram would be faster.
I think if I remember the stats right, I think an AT-AT moved about like 40 miles an hour at best at full bore.
ATTEs hit upwards of like 60 miles an hour at their top speed.
Right.
That's
AT-AT
also
has
empty
longer legs,
though.
so it goes a bit faster. Or at least
Um,
that's supposedly the in-lore reason.
yeah. The other thing is the Marine Corps' tank divisions, they're set up for anti-infantry, not anti-tank. So you also have to take that into account.
I mean, we do a lot. Marines, they do a lot of stuff with the armor divisions, like mainly just the first armor division. So, but yeah, you're right. They're mainly just set up for anti-infantry, not anti-tank.
Yeah, it's the Army's job to destroy tanks.
Yep. I mean, the Marines, they kind of do everything because in their helmets, from the air and land and sea. From the air, Air Force, land, Army, sea, Navy. They're basically every branch put into one.
Alright, let's take a vote. I'm gonna vote the GAR wins.
I am also going to vote the GAR wins.
Tier numbers and all that kind of stuff, GAR.
Izzy,
I
your
gotta
vote?
have faith in my dogs. Oh, my double dogs. So I gotta say the Marine Corps.
Izzy?
GAR.
Alright, it's 4-1 GAR to Marine Corps.
Mm.
Torch, your vote?
Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to stick with the Marine Corps with this one.
Alright, 4-2. Right, anybody else want to present any fantasy wars or anything?
I've got a good one.
Okay.
The Helldivers from Helldivers against GAR.
I don't play the game, so I don't have an opinion on this.
Well, it's a 4-man squad that goes up against basically small armies.
I would have to say probably the Helldivers unless you're including the Null class or Alpha class arcs.
They would count because they're part of the army.
Well, technically no, because the Alpha class were kept in cryosleep, and the Null class were separated because the Kaminoans tried to kill them, so they're technically mercenaries, not actually GAR.
I still count them as GAR property though.
I would also count them as GAR because they were sent out on missions for the Republic. Alpha class troopers were basically null, except they were following orders. They were made to follow orders a little more.
Yeah. The thing is though that most of the Alpha class was kept in cryosleep on Camino. The only ones we really see are Alpha himself, and then Fordo and the other Munilus 10.
Munilus 10 weren't Alpha troopers though.
Most of them weren't. There were 3 who were. Fordo
What's the
and
one that we saw with Anakin in the comics?
yeah, the Alpha class really weren't used all that much, so they were mostly protectors of Camino, less so frontline, though that's what they were designed for.
Yeah.
I'd go, then what's it that I think about? I'd probably go GAR because of the Republic Commandos.
Yeah.
Ah,
Including the Alpha class, I'd have to say the GAR because one of those could take on a whole army.
And
I also
we're
agree.
just talking about a contingent of like 4 guys, usually 4-man teams, usually when it comes to Helldivers.
I mean, our RC squad is a standard of 4 people.
the thing is, Jester, you also have to consider with the Helldivers is that they're shoot, my brain's just died. That they're not trained from birth like the clones again, but also they're about to take about what 100 to 1, not even that sometimes.
In this
They
case,
do have
it's
a high mortality rate.
10 million to 4, which comes out to 2.5 million to 1 odds.
Someone just gave me an idea for another battle.
Yeah.
It's a game I play. It's called PlanetSide 2. The Vanu Sovereignty. Maybe versus the Helldivers.
I have not heard of these people, so you're gonna have to give me a little information.
So Classified 2, well, the game is free on PS and PC, and only those people can play it. But the Vonu Sovereignty, they're a group of scientists who use ancient alien technology turned into weaponry. So it's all like plasma-based weaponry. Like Helldivers, they mainly just fight bugs, I think, just from what I've seen. But Vonu, they fight everything. So
Bugs, bots, cyborgs, old alien races. They fight
and
a
the
lot of stuff.
Vonu, they're almost everything. Their armor, guns, tanks, aircraft, bases, even are all made from old ancient alien technology, like all their equipment. Because each team has like a heavy weapon. For the Vonu, it's the Lasher, which fires orbs of plasma that explode on contact. Does a lot of damage, actually. And their armor does a good job of holding out against the two other enemies, which guns fire bullets. So
Interesting. All right, for the first one, the Helldivers versus JR, I'm gonna have to say JR wins due to sheer numbers, and then the second one, I would have to say maybe the Vonu, as you described them.
Yeah, I'd agree.
in the game, Vanu, they're always the ones who are outnumbered, but they're always winning every battle.
Well, that just sounds like plot armor.
Like in
Pretty much.
well, it's mainly just infantry. Like in population battles, the highest it gets is to 96 plus. You could have a squad of Vanu 12 to 24 versus a 96 pop enemy. The Vanu will still win. So I go with Vanu for the second battle, and first battle I'd have to go GAR.
So Helldivers don't win either of these scenarios.
I feel like the
No.
Helldivers could win the second one. Especially since they're very space oriented as well. And it's squads of 4.
Well, Vanu, they have a tank. It's called the Mag Rider. It hovers, and then their Empire-specific fighter is the Scythe, which is built for speed, precision, and maneuverability.
Okay.
So
I
That's
think
all I
the
gotta say.
Helldivers could pull a lot more people.
Probably
Maybe
true,
outnumber.
but eventually they're going to be overwhelmed. Still only 4 people.
Mhm.
And that's all we see.
That's just
squads
a
of 4
standard
drop in.
deployment, though. It's 4 people.
And what's it? Vanu squads fill up 12 people, but you can make a platoon of 4 squads: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. And each squad you could fill up 12 people. So at max, you might have like 48 people in one platoon.
Yeah.
So like you could have 3 platoons of 4 squads. Again, numbers aren't a problem for them. So that's why I say Vanu will win.
What I'm hearing is Helldivers don't win either of the scenarios presented.
No, I have to agree.
Unfortunately.
All right, do we have any more fantasy battles anyone wants to present?
What about the CIS droid army? You know, what was all deployed versus the entirety of the Death Corps of Krieg from Warhammer 40k. We're talking armor, support units, the whole 9 yards of Krieg.
You do
Okay,
realize
bro.
the CIS probably would have overwhelmed the GAR if it wasn't for Palpatine, because they had 8 million units scattered around all their systems by the time Geonosis, the first battle of Geonosis. And then throughout the war, they just kept making more and more. So I think they ended up with something like 40 million droids.
Don't forget what they had before the war.
That's also true.
Just
That
remember the blockade over Naboo in the first episode.
That was a couple 100,000.
Yeah, that was only a couple 100,000, but I was including everything with the 8 million count before Geonosis, first battle of Geonosis.
Exactly.
The only reason they didn't overwhelm JR is because Palpatine said no. They had so many droids.
The thing though, you have to remember when it comes to Krieg, they don't care about sizes. They're trench warfare. Like there's even a joke in the community about Kriegers loving to use shovels on enemies. That's their preferred melee weapon. Plus, we're talking about a planet that is predicated and dedicated solely to war and pumping out troops for the meat grinder.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's even
droids
a
don't.
joke that the Kriegers aren't a planet with an army. They're an army with a planet.
Yeah.
Some people first order and stall killer base.
One of the things about that is that the droids have. There were a couple times where we saw trench warfare being used in the Clone Wars. The droids did worse and very badly in trench warfare because they didn't know how to dig trenches. Even the later models that actually could think for themselves.
Barely.
Yeah, that's true. They really didn't do well at trench warfare until you brought in commandos that could actually shoot.
Yeah.
So, I say the CIS wins despite the massive amount of numbers. Wait, sorry. Did I say CIS wins? I meant CIS loses despite their numbers.
I have to agree with that. CIS loses.
Hey, what do you know? Star Wars lost one today.
Assuming we're not bringing in Scorpionic droids or other experimental units like the Avatar 7, because those things are just...
I'd say mainline stuff.
Yeah, because those were few and far between and overpowered.
I forgot about those.
Yeah. The Avatar 7 almost killed eight Jedi Masters in one go, including 3 Council Masters.
Yeah.
A single Avatar 7. So if we included those, yeah, I don't think anything could win.
I don't know if nothing could win. We'd probably just have to pick something bigger than just the Kriegers if we wanted to throw them in a Warhammer.
Okay. You know what? Talking about the Avatar 7, let's say a full squad that's 9 units of Avatar 7s against anything you guys throw at it. See what we can come up with, if anything, that will win.
The Vanu.
Titanicus.
A full orc Wa. Seriously, that's their army name. They call it a Wa.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Also, their battle cry. They will charge at you and yell Wa because they think it's fun. So it's like a Wa ha ha ha.
That does
They
sound
live
fun,
forever.
in all fairness. That does sound really fun.
I'd say Vanu because again, you could have 6, 7 platoons of 4 squads with 12 people in them. Because again, numbers are not a problem for the Vanu. You could easily outnumber them, but they'd still win. I've seen it happen. I've had it happen.
But again, Avatar 7's one Avatar 7 almost killed 8 Jedi Masters with 3 Council members. Just one of them, and we're pitting you against 9.
Okay. I mean, the Vanu could have their VS Max. If you saw the VS Max, you'd be agreeing with Vanu.
Alright. So I think that's all the fantasy battles, unless somebody comes up with another one real quick.
I think we're good.
I'm out.
What about last one for the group? The Terranids versus the aliens from Aliens versus Predator.
I got no
Well, that
opinion.
doesn't have a Star Wars element, does it?
Okay, fair.
Although that would be a fun one.
You know what?
The CIS versus Skynet.
I feel like Skynet would win because they can
Probably.
just time travel.
Yeah, probably.
That's the whole factor right there, is that.
I'd have to guess numbers with CIS. I mean, Terminators are one planet. We're talking intergalactic army.
That's fair.
Plus, Terminators, a lot of their in-lore lethality comes from surprising humans with their disguises, and well, that doesn't work on battle droids.
That's true.
No, but it does on their commanders.
I mean, I might be able to see an argument where on like a first time encounter, if you had Terminators that didn't have the the flesh component, they might get confused for a second, thinking they might be some new droid thing, but I don't know if that would give the Terminators enough just to overcome an entire droid army.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. The element of surprise wouldn't win them an entire war.
True. But their AI would. That's what you have to remember. Skynet is one entity.
Oh, that's
It's not controlled by multiple sectors or a person or something like that. Skynet is an AI. It started out as one and just multiplied on its own. And it can do that in systems of whatever it wants.
yeah, they might win based off of that then. Because once they've fought one type of battle droid and figured out how to defeat it, then all of them know how to defeat that one most easily. Alright, I'm gonna vote that the Terminators win this one.
I'm neutral.
I'm sticking with the numbers. Yeah.
I'm also going to stick with CIS.
Torch?
Sticking with the Terminators.
Alright, 2-2-1 for that one. That one's
I'm
pretty...
neutral. I
pretty-
don't have a vote.
Yeah, that one's pretty evenly balanced, actually. It's kind of funny. Alright, our next topic is favorite holidays.
Okay.
It's a good question.
I only know about Life Day. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
That's the only Star Wars holiday. Well, I guess Empire Day.
Oh,
there's
it
just...
kind of died though. The Empire died though.
Yeah, Empire Day was actually a replacement for Life Day, so they were technically the same thing. Just under a different name.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so there's really no more holidays unless you include the fall of the Empire as a holiday.
have to follow the First Order and the Final Order.
Yep.
I'd probably go with the Fall of the Final Order, mainly just because of how bad that battle was and how many ships they had to destroy.
Yeah.
Like it was little Star Destroyers with planet killer weapons on the bottom versus starfighters with practically nothing.
Yeah. I would say that Life Day is probably my favorite.
I'll go with Life Day.
I go with the Fall of the Final Order and the final destruction of Palpatine.
Hopefully. He already returned once.
And hopefully that was the only one time he did. I
Mm-hmm.
still want to know how.
I could answer that question, but it would take an hour.
I was about to
Okay.
say, do we really want to lore deep dive this into the
Yeah,
legend?
it's best that we don't. I'll just stick with the Fall of the Final Order.
We can do lore deep dives if you want. It's just that would make for a very boring podcast.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
not.
All right. Next, let's go to the next topic then. Which planet had the best fireworks post second Death Star destruction?
Coruscant.
Coruscant.
Naboo.
Naboo had a pretty good show.
Actually, yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna say
Although we
Naboo
both
as
know
well.
about Palpatine.
And Naboo was pretty cool. I'm still saying Coruscant because they had fireworks planet wide.
Okay,
And they
that's
tore down a statue too, so it's like, come on.
Yeah.
And again, the Jedi Temple, and we didn't really see that anymore after the fall of the Republic.
Yeah, I mean, the new Jedi Order never went back to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. They went off to their own planet.
Because it became the what's it called, the Imperial Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it became the Imperial Palace. That's canon. Legends, if I'm not mistaken, Palpatine left it abandoned, kind of serve as a reminder of his power.
No,
If I
Legends.
remember right.
Legends, he turned it into the Imperial Palace as well. Though he did it
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because if you take the Legends story by Timothy Zahn, the Thrawn trilogy, the Imperial Palace, the New Republic used that as their headquarters on Coruscant, and there was no mention of the Jedi Temple, so the assumption can be made that since the Imperial Palace existed, it was in the Jedi Temple, same as in canon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I misremembered that part.
Any other planets that have fireworks to discuss?
I don't think so.
All right.
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
Right. The next one is one that I'm pretty sure everybody would have had to look up to figure out what it is, but Star Wars 1313. What would you think about that one?
I don't even know.
Opportunity.
I need to look
Should
that
have
up
been
right now.
cancelled.
I need to look that up right now.
Yeah, it's a canceled action adventure video game that would follow Boba Fett and his early adulthood years on Coruscant, level 1313, which is why it's called Star Wars 1313.
I don't really have an opinion, then. I mean, I guess it would be cool just to see what Boba was like after that one episode where he blew up the ship, and then later on when he became a mercenary and how he became to how he was today.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
It's
that would be cool, but
one of the things that was stated about it is that it was going to be a lot more of a mature game, so a lot more blood, gore, actual nasty things.
oh, then I don't think so, because if you're gonna have
I think
kids,
like the Polynesian spa.
Sorry,
That's bad.
Have all the good stuff.
Well, certainly would have been an interesting game, and I think that it probably would have been marked for older players as it is. So it would have been a really cool game had it been released, just like Battlefront 3 would have been amazing.
Oh my! The stories I heard
I
about
remember
that.
watching that.
the same. Oh my god.
Because the
Flying around that speeder bike was awesome. Like,
the
just-
massive ground battles combined with the ability to go into and do space battles by your whim, like, man, Battlefront 3 would have been cool.
It's basically a Star Wars Battlefront mixed with Call of Duty, Bad Company 2, and just had a baby.
Yeah. It would have been a really cool game if we'd gotten it, but nope. No dice. Alright, the next topic is the difference in how the games are played and paced between PC and console and the skill gap between the two.
Well, like playing Battlefront 2.
I
Sort of
guess
in general.
since it's been a very long time since I played, I'm not going to be able to answer too much of this, but from what I remember, the PC games were very quick paced, and you had to be able to do quite a bit very quickly.
There's actually a difference between both consoles and PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, PlayStation battles now we go like up and down. We'll go up to a ship and back down to the ground maybe 3-4 times. So like maybe a 2-3 hour game.
Yeah.
No.
I remember my first one like that. It was insane.
Yeah. I
So
had
what
one
I'm
last
hearing,
year.
so what I'm
Oh
hearing,
my God.
PlayStation, both sides, it's much more even in matchmaking.
No.
Not even
It can be, but don't count on it because there's times where it's an absolute stump fest.
Yeah.
PlayStation is a lot of competitive players now. So you always join a game where you at least know one or two of the usernames. And because it's quite competitive, there's quite a lot of skill involved as well. So it ends up being about half an hour normally for a game.
Yikes.
that. And when it originally came out, it
On
was like the whole problem with
Xbox lobbies are usually a stomp. It's about
Well, I had a game
50.
yesterday. It was like 2-3 hour long.
Let me explain. It's usually a stomp because half the people are streaming the game, and the other half is shit. And then on PC, it's a high skill level, but there's also hackers.
Mm-hmm.
The games are usually quite fast because you usually have people that aren't that good with keyboard and mouse playing. But then you have a few lobbies which are about 2 hours long because you have those high skill players in there.
Mm-hmm. Most of my games, the games that I played, we went between 20 to 40 minutes. It just took forever to do anything because, especially in the when we were going up for ship battles, because either one side was really good at offense or one side was really good at defense, and then randomly somehow it would end up that the defensive side would beat out the offensive and everything, and we just go back and forth constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were a couple games where one side was definitively better than the other, and those would be like 5-minute games.
Those lobbies are kind of rare to happen on PlayStation. I've seen them happen a lot often on Xbox and PC.
Yeah, matchmaking isn't the best for PC because of how few people, technically how few people play.
There's still quite a large amount of people that play.
Mm-hmm. But there's two types of players, and they always end up in the same lobby. There's the casual players who aren't very high level or high skill level. Then you ultra competitive.
Usually on
Yeah, that always
PlayStation,
sounds like a
mostly
mess.
ultra competitive. It's very rare to see someone below triple digits, let alone have a lobby full of people beneath it. You're always guaranteed to see at least, 4 maxes at minimum?
Yeah, PC games. I played for long enough that I saw a range from level 1 all the way up to maximum level in games that I was playing. Not at the same time, obviously, but while there was a max level player in the lobby, the lowest I saw was like 21.
Nowadays, lowest level I'll be seeing is either a 9 or a 10. Highest level, probably me, because I got my assault player to max not too long ago.
That's cool. Any other thoughts? All right.
Not really, not on this one.
Actually, it's quite different.
All right. What games would make for good regiment servers, like how Phoenix uses COD primarily?
Helldivers.
Easy.
PlanetSide 2, but I'm not gonna get into that because of past stuff.
PlanetSide 2 would be a shit idea. Nobody plays it anymore.
You'd be mistaken, my friend. No, trust me, you'd be very, very mistaken.
I'm not. Literally nobody in 41st plays it anymore.
Oh, I thought you meant in general, because right now, population online in PlanetSide 2 is 548 people.
Yeah, that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Realize.
what's that
Like,
new one
when
that
you
just
say,
came
like,
out here
Helldivers,
recently,
you
like
have like
2 days ago?
50,000 50,000 players on daily.
Maybe War Thunder too. That's cross-platform.
That would be a fun one to see.
I would agree.
Let's be honest though. We all know Fortnite would be the best idea. Come on.
No,
No, I don't do
Oh.
Fortnite.
no, no, because nowadays
Give us Jonesy
Fortnite
Regiment.
There's all the toxic kids who don't got nothing better to do, and plus they always rage when they meet skilled players like us.
You see the same in Battlefront though.
True.
Like for goodness sake, I had someone accusing Squeak of hacking earlier. It was
Well,
like
Well,
no,
it is
it's not.
Squeak.
This
It's Squeak.
thing is though, the numbers he was doing, I've done on console before. It's like this ain't hacking. I've done this shit on console before. It's like, oh G41st idiot, blah blah blah. Coming from like a max hero main. He was mad because Squeak was beating him only using heavy.
Oh, you should have seen all the hate messages I got when I was in the 104th.
I've been playing a game for quite a number of years now called Unturned, and I feel like that would make a pretty fun one. It's less so. Half of it is designed around PvP between players and everything, and then the other half is PvE because it's a zombie survival game. So you could have PvP skill-based matches and everything, and then you could also do base building and PvE survival for the fun of it.
What about that new game that just came out? What's it called? The First Descent?
I don't know about that.
Alright.
Actually, you know what might be like a nice thing to see? It's like a games night regiment. It's like all those like popular party games, Minecraft, Among Us, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that the people whose Battlefront doesn't work anymore could actually, rank.
Yeah.
Love to have a rank again.
I would love to have a higher rank again.
Yeah, so you can bully me.
I do it anyway.
You're not Invictus.
I don't care. You're still dodging that 1v1.
I'm in LA, bro. I can't really do anything. Well, that's a lie, because I brought my PS.
Exactly, 1v1.
Anyway, can we move on?
Yep. If you had to get a new helmet, how would you have it designed?
Ooh.
How or who?
Personally, I'd like one of the three-dimensional helmets, but keep everything else pretty much the same.
You mean the renders?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a Sand Trooper with, I got a helmet done that's Marine Corps themed. Probably get a Sand Trooper with, the design and everything I have on that RC helmet. Including having the EGA, or the EAG, I mean. Eagle Anchor Globe. That's what I'd have to say for mine.
That does sound pretty cool.
I don't know if I'd get a new helmet. I'm pretty content with mine.
That's not the question. The question is if you had to get a new helmet, how would you have it designed?
I had to.
Yep.
I honestly don't really know. There's not too many helmet shapes I'm really interested in. Probably if I could use it as a cheap out, because I just add to mine. I usually just add like quote unquote sticker / decals to it. the more squads and such I'm in. Like, I need to put one in for our one EST squad since actually relocated squads. But as for an all new one, I don't really know.
It's funny you say all new helmet because I'm actually currently working on an all new helmet.
Nice.
So mine would be a snowtrooper with a majority white background, but pink and green accents with a pink visor. Because I like pink.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a nice color, and it's the same color as the breast cancer ribbon.
That does seem pretty cool.
I haven't finished yet. I'm so close.
Yeah. And this might be a question that has been asked before. I don't remember. But favorite regiment of clones aside from the 41st?
Probably the 501st. It'd be cool to serve under Rex and the whole gang. Rex, Fives, Echo,
Yeah.
Jesse, Hardcase, Dogma, Tup.
Yeah, that would be pretty
Everybody.
cool. I would personally say the 327th Star Corps.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Competitive people might Shanghai me for this one, but personally, Plo Koon was a bro, so I don't think the Wolfpack would be too bad.
That's
I got
fair.
respect for that because I was also thinking the Coruscant Guard.
No.
No, we do not. No, we do not.
We do not speak of the Coruscant Guard.
I think that should be a kick.
They're just police. That's it. They're just the police force.
Okay. Alright, so then, yeah, either the 501st or the 104th. But I'd probably have to stick with the 501st because, again, I think it would be nice or cool to serve under Rex, Cody, or, yeah, Rex, Fives, the whole gang.
Yeah. My secondary option would be the 87th under Mace Windu.
That was gonna be my first one.
It's a good pick.
Mine would be Rancor Battalion.
Yeah, that one's a pretty good one.
I like eating crayons, what can I say?
Doom Squad after the 87th.
Then be a Marine, because unfortunately one of our nicknames are Crayon Eaters.
No, that's
Mate,
SF.
mate, I work real life with someone who was in the Marine Corps. You're crayon eaters.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're mainly known as Devil Dogs, because we've had that nickname since our creation.
I think my second one would have to be the 442nd.
It's a good pick.
Well, actually, no, my secondary, the 332nd.
Okay. Alright, that's the last topic I have written down. So, do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Not off the top of my head.
Nah, I got nothing off the top of my head.
Nothing that I can disclose.
Alright, deep dive into... Are we ready for a deep dive into Legends then?
Kinda.
What do you mean?
Like, we just talk about as far into Legends as we can.
We're dusting off the books.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to pass on that, because my knowledge in that ain't the best.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, let me get the classic
And also,
books
I haven't
out real
eaten yet.
quick.
And I want to eat.
The bulk
Well-
of my knowledge is droids, so
I've got a lot of classic Star Wars books.
Alright, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the 41st Media Team podcast. This has been the final episode for Season 1. So, this has been Gravestone.
This was Dodger.
this was Jester.
And Izzy.
No torch.
And we're going to sign off. Have a nice day, everybody.
Happy 4th of July.
Take care. Be safe.
Happy voting day!